in this time of worship, renew in us the hope that you will turn our swords into plowshares and lead the world from the study of war to the promise of peace, with justice for all your peoples.
Hope United Church, or Hope Methodist at that time, its World War I Roll of Honor has 95 names of people in the congregation who served. 14 of those were killed, and their names are listed on a separate bronze plaque at the front of the sanctuary. It's entitled Our Fallen Heroes, and their names are Lance Corporal W.C. Appleton, Some Defense, November 26, 1916. Private G. Callan, London, Canada, November 8, 1915. Flight Sub-Lieutenant G.E. Duke, England, January 10, 1916. Second Lieutenant G.P. Davidson, Arras, May 3, 1917. Private J.W. Gallagher, St. Paul, France, November 17, 1918. Private F. Gilding, Gagencourt, August 29, 1918. Private J. Harries, St. Julian, April 24, 1915. Private T. A. Heron, Arras, Cambrai Road, August 27, 1918. Private W. A. Heel, Arras, Cambrai, August 26, 1918. Sergeant C. P. May, Arras, July 5, 1918. Private C. W. Mabott, Cambrai, October 23, 1918. Private H. C. Moore, Cambrai, September 30, 1918. Sergeant J. Rushworth, Belgium, July 2, 1917. And Private T. Stott, Lens, August 27, 1918. Hope United Church's World War II Memorial has 195 names of those who served on active service. 10 of those were killed or lost their lives, and their names are Donald M. Arnault, Bertram J. Dogrell, Gordon F. Hughes, A. Lloyd Kippen, Earl W. Hicks, J. J. Lamers, Henry H. Mills, Ralph G. M. McCutcheon, Tom McQuiddy, and H. Lou Williams. As this year is the 75th anniversary of the end of World War II, after 6 years of war, I'd like to highlight one name from the World War II list of those who lost their lives, and he is Donald M. Arnault. He was a Malvern student and attended Hope United Church. He enlisted early and served 2 years in Yorkton, Saskatchewan, as a flight instructor before being sent overseas. On his first mission, his Halifax bomber was damaged by enemy fire 20 minutes after takeoff. The fire was extinguished and the plane flew its mission, returning to England, making a forced landing. He was a member of the Lion Squadron, and he took part in some of the biggest raids on Berlin. He received the Distinguished Flying Cross for his service in the air war against Germany. He had almost completed his tour of duty when his plane was reported missing. This info is from a booklet published by Center 55 called Center 55 Vignettes of the Beach and East Toronto on the 70th anniversary of the end of World War II by Jean Cochran and Carol Stimmel, and it's available at the Main Street Library. To conclude, I'd like to read a partial quote from Pericles' funeral oration for Athenians who fell in the Peloponnesian War, 431 BC. Take these men as your example. Like them, remember that prosperity and true happiness can only be for the free, that freedom is the sure possession of those alone who have the courage to defend it. On this 75th anniversary of the end of World War II, lest we forget.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old.
Age shall not weary them, nor do years condemn.
At the going down of the sun, and in the morning,
We will remember them.
God save our gracious Queen. Long live our noble Queen. God save the Queen. Send her victorious, happy and glorious, long to reign over us. God save the Queen.
There's been a big story put out lately about spies. Some of these were never mentioned as heroes, so I would like to tell you about a couple. There's a nursing secret. Mata Hari might be the most beautiful, notorious, not to mention glamorous enemy spy of World War I, but Allies troops had their own secret weapon, Nurse Edith Cavell. She famously treated wounded soldiers from both sides loyalty. She left for the British. She firmly with the British when it came to sidelings, sending messages into the uniforms of injured men being sent home to recover. She was executed for helping hundreds of soldiers escape from the Germans, but her involvement in espionage was denied by the government until recently. The second one I'd like to tell you about is an opera star. Wigan-born mezzo-soprano Marjorie Booth moved to Germany just before the outbreak of World War II to join the Berlin State Opera. After she performed in front of Hitler, he sent her 200 red roses wrapped in a swastika flag. Little did he know that she was in fact a British spy who had secret documents pinned inside her dress as she sang for him that day. Marjorie's intelligence led to Lord Haw-Haw and John Amory being tried for treason. Though she found herself unwelcomed in Britain because many mistakenly believed that she was a Nazi sympathizer. This one is a Pole, girlish. The first and longest serving British female spy during World War II was actually a Polish countess named Christine Starbuck, better known by her nom de plume of Christine Granville. Hers is a tale of great daring, skiing in occupied Poland to distribute British propaganda, helping hundreds of prisoner of war to safely, and fooling a Gestapo doctor in believing that she had TB, so that she could escape Nazi questioning. Having cheated death so many times and being Churchill's favourite spy, she was tragically murdered in London by a stalker in 1952. The final one I have, this one really interested me. She was a descendant from Indian royalty. Noor Khan was a wireless operator in Nazi-occupied France and Britain's first Muslim war correspondent, and she was a heroine. She was arrested by the Germans in 1943, and though she refused to divulge a scrap of information while under torture, they seized her notebooks and impersonated her coded messages, luring unsuspecting Allied agents to France. Noor was executed at Dachau with following year. Her poignant first words as she was the firing squad raised their guns was they say liberty